guys, how many of you guys have actually never been to a zoo before? Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about training animals, and I'm going to kind of explain it more of a zoo setting, but I'm going to parallel it to how you guys can apply it to your pets at home. My title is kind of a spin-off of this book by Karen Pryor. It's a training book. It's very beneficial. And how many of you have actually seen that behavior where you shoot your dog, like you say stick them up, and they kind of sit up on their hind end, and then you're like bang, they fall over and play dead. Anybody seen that? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So the objectives today, you're going to be able to recognize positive and negative reinforcement and punishment, and then restate why it's important for us to train in zoos, and then you're going to demonstrate a training session with your pet. So my experience, I'm a senior animal science major, and then I have a minor in captive wild animal management. This past summer I did an internship at the Topeka Zoo, and then last winter break I was at the Dickerson Park Zoo, and I studied abroad in South Africa as well. So why do we train? The biggest reason is for medical procedures. This white tiger is getting his blood drawn from his tail. They don't have to anesthetize this animal to get this done. And you don't want to anesthetize animals. You want to do it as many times as you can. So at the Topeka Zoo, the animals there, they only were anesthetized once every 2 years. It's also a form of enrichment, which is basically like the toys that you give them, anything that you do with them to kind of enrich their lives and give them a purpose, give them something to do. And then education is a really good way as well. This is the Sea Lion Splash Show at Kansas City Zoo. So here they have 6 sea lions, and they'll have like 3 or 4 trainers around, and what they'll do is they have somebody reading off of a script that kind of connects the audience as to these animals, their natural history. They talk about where they're from and so behavioral skills that they use and how training is involved in that. So when you start off, using the capture technique is the best way. So what you're going to do is when your dog sits and you haven't taught your dog to sit, you'll say the word sit and give him a treat. So he realizes, he's like, oh, all I did was sit down. So the next time that you do that, you do just again and again and again. And then eventually he's going to catch on and associate the word sit with the behavior of sitting, and then he's going to be able to do it on command. So in zoos, this is really advantageous because you can take a yawn from this and you can turn it into a behavior just like this, where we can examine any kind of issues that are going on in the mouth. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to go in with a polar bear and be like, come on guys, open up. So there's 4 kind of approaches you can take. Positive just means that you're going to add some kind of stimulus, and negative means that you're going to remove it. Most of the time it's a toy. Reinforcement just means that you're going to increase the behavior, and punishment means that you're just trying to decrease the behavior. So an example of positive punishment, this is Timbo. She's at the Topeka Zoo, gorgeous elephant. She has learned that she's strong enough to break down those cables, and it's become a game for her. We obviously can't let that happen. I mean, one morning we were driving in on a golf cart at 7 in the morning, and she had basically broken half the fence, so we were like, everybody look out for an elephant. We were like, we're going to be on the news. It was pretty scary. And so what they did, they added those, to those cable ties, they added hot wire, so that the stimulus of the hot wire would decrease the likeliness that she'd later go on and try and attack the fence. These are your steps. You're going to have your SD, bridge, reinforcement, repeat, and positive ending. So the first step is the discriminative stimulus. This is basically what you're going to tell the animal what you want to do. It can be visual, vocal, it doesn't matter, both helps very well. So this example is target pulls are really good, especially for your larger animals, just because it forces them to move a lot more. I mean, I can only move this much. A lion can easily put his paw up, and he's right here. So I have a target pull, and I'm like, okay, up. He has to actually stretch up, and he has to get as tall as he can and use all those muscles that he wouldn't use normally. So with the pet behavior with the stick 'em up guns, you saying stick 'em up and the gun fingers, those are going to be your SD. And then when you say bang, same thing, he's going to fall to the ground. Alright, so your bridge, can anybody kind of tell me what, in this picture, what you think the bridge would be? Any ideas? No. It's a good guess though. Okay, so this whistle actually that she's got right here, that's your bridge. The bridge is what connects you to your animals. That's your communication tool. So basically, when he hears that whistle, that's like, boom, I did that behavior, I'm gonna go get a treat from her, if that makes any sense. And then there's multiple types. So this is from PetSmart clickers. You can also say good boy, good girl. It just depends on the animal and what they associate it with. You want to bridge when the animal is basically done putting all effort into that behavior. So in this picture, this orca has gone up, used all of its muscles, and got as high as it can go. The next thing it can do is just fall. So same thing with your dog. When your dog is sitting, if they're kind of like halfway sitting, it's like, no, you gotta sit all the way. As soon as they sit down and they're relaxed, that's when you're like, boom, that's what I want, and that's when you bridge. So that stick 'em up example, when you say good boy, that's when you're bridging your animal. All right, and then reinforcement. Positive tends to work the best in zoo settings. It provides those animals with a lot of motivation to come back for the next time. And it's the same thing with you guys, like if you go to a restaurant and you have a positive experience, you're more likely to come back to that restaurant rather than, if you get water spilled on all over you or anything like that. So primary basically just means like food, and if they have a toy that they really like, that's going to motivate them the most to come back. And then secondary is affection, or it can be just your attention. That's another one that they want, but it's not something they want as much as food. And then your LRS is the least reinforcing stimulus. This is what you do if they do something wrong. So if they are aggressive towards you, that's when you just turn around for like 3 or 4 seconds, and you turn back and you're like, okay, let's try that again. You don't want to give them any kind of positive reinforcement for that. So this is where you would give your dog a treat or affection, get lots of scratches. And I can't emphasize enough on step 4 how important it is to be repetitive with this. You want to do this behavior very many times, like a lot, because the more likely, just like when you guys are studying, the more likely you look at something and then you look at it again later, you're going to remember it the more times that you do that. And being consistent is really important, because if you are trying to ask the animals to do the behavior and you're kind of like, oh, you kind of did it, here's a treat, like next time they're going to do it even worse. So for example, Avis at the Topeka Zoo, what he'll do is he'll be like sit and he'll kind of squat down a little bit. He'll get like 2 or 3 inches off the ground, and we're like, no, that's not what we want. But if we were to reinforce him for that, then next time he would be 4 inches off the ground, and eventually he would stop sitting. So this is just what you would do with your pet. You just ask him again and again and again to sit down. And then for the ending, you want it to be positive as possible. Basically, the more positive the training session goes with you, the more likely they're going to come back and associate the fun time that they had and all the food that they got and all the rewards that they were getting. And they remember that for the next session, so they're going to want to come back. Like Val was the black bear in that picture. That was, she had her hand through a little portal that she sticks her paw through. They were training for her to get blood samples. She comes up every time. She knows what that stall means. When that stall door opens up, she knows she's getting food. And so she rushes in and she just sticks her paw through. She's like, okay, I'm ready, feed me. And she knows exactly what's happening. So this is when you would just give your dog lots of love, lots of treats. And so you guys have stuffed animals around the room. If you guys want to be as creative as you want, create any kind of behavior with these animals, you just need to create an SD, have them perform that behavior, and then pick a bridge that you would use and what kind of reinforcement you think that animal would like. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know too.
I've seen some shows and they said they'll like.
What did you do?
That's what my experience is. I want this, I want to roll. Yeah. And they did that. You give him a orange signature.
I mean, you don't want him to, but.
Well, that's discriminatory.
And then I was like,
How would you read it?
Yeah.
Dog.
I wish I could.
That's what I think.
I should put it
So,
I love the wall.
That's what I say last time.
Yeah.
Bridge, I guess, would be best.
Isn't there names or? Oh, you said kennel. Good job. So excited. Like they didn't hear.
I love it. It's so funny and so
Yeah, that was really good.
Very
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then we end up with.
We end up getting our single
They actually do.
So now it's a non-verbal thing, because we go like this in the park, just like shaking your leg.
And it doesn't actually.
No, I can't wait to see all the pictures.
From their mouth.
The only thing I didn't like is that they gave us like, for hors d'oeuvres, they give us like this huge plate, so like you have to stand in your.
Do you guys all have behaviors that you guys have created, or do you guys need more time? Okay, what did you guys come up with?
We trained our elephant to roll over.
Okay, so, what kind of SD would you use, like, would you just go like this?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. What did you guys come up with?
We were talking about how like the tiger, same deal with the cheetah blood draws, so the SD would probably be kind of like a point to the chute where they normally sit when you draw blood from them.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. What did you guys come up
We taught our elephant to sit,
with? Okay,
and the SD was, we told him to sit.
okay, that's great, yeah, that's perfect. And for the orca?
We changed ours, and it was going to be eating people, but we decided to switch it to making noise.
Okay. What would you use to kind of stimulate that, like what would your SD be?
I'd say speak and then blow whistle.
There you go, that's perfect, yeah.
You're on.
Okay, so just to kind of review with you guys, positive just means that you're going to add something, whereas negative means you're going to remove it. Reinforcement means you're going to increase the behavior, and punishment means you're going to decrease the behavior. It doesn't mean that we're going to feed an animal with a stick or anything, something like that. And then the steps are the SD, bridge, reinforcement, repeat, and then you want to end positively. Alright, so by all means, go ahead and shoot your dog when you get home. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to teach older animals, like, maybe you can teach an elephant on futures?
I think they're more stubborn, but it's just as possible as teaching a puppy. Actually, it might be more possible because puppies are just like infants, they're not completely developed, like they're still growing, so they don't understand human behavior and human body language as well as older dogs do. So I think it's actually easier to train older dogs than it is animals. But it just depends on the animal as well.
Well, so you did all this experience at these zoos, so what was like the hardest trick you've ever had to teach and the hardest trick that you've ever like used?
I actually have a video on my phone of an elephant standing up. It was really hard. Well, she's an older elephant too. She's in her geriatric stage, so she had to use a lot of muscles that she hasn't been able to use in a long time. But there was a group of kids that were there touring kind of behind